that'd be cool to have some more. But it looks like the players are ready. We're going to go ahead and get into our second quarterfinals here between Hyped and SjoW. Game number one in a best of seven. Here we go. SjoW's got his hoodie on again. 80s music running, I'm sure. Phil Collins, man. I know some favorites being played over there in his stream.
And I was unfortunately not alive in the 80s to enjoy the music, but
What? You were not alive in the 80s? Yes, you were.
no, Chan, man. In fact,
Seriously? Oh my
most
god, I'm
people in
so
our
old,
most
dude.
people who enjoy
Oh,
esports don't even know what it's
I
like to
am
experience the
so old.
90s.
I'm so old.
You're experienced and wise, Chan.
Yeah,
That's what
I
you
guess you
are.
could say that. Oh man, it's crazy when the kids are haven't been born in the 80s. All right. Let's see how we start here.
All right, so Handlock's going first, and he draws a very important card in Hellfire, because that's going to be important to keep in check all of the spreading of minions on the board, especially when there's a Shade of Naxxramas out. That's going to be hard to reach otherwise. You don't want to necessarily just Shadow Flame like one minion on the board, but now you actually have multiple ways to play out your turn 4, and you can react to how your opponent acts.
Okay, doesn't get the Innervate Shades, but he could actually coin out the Shades this turn. I think that's what he's going to do. Yep.
Yeah, you want
I
to get
really
shares
love
as soon as possible.
I really love the
Always.
design of Shades. It's such a cool concept.
Yeah, it's. Oh, wow. I, for some reason, really thought you were
Oh,
talking about sunglasses. And then I was like, yeah, they're great. They help protect you against ultraviolet rays, and they make you look cool. And they're
man.
good for BM on stream. But yes, Shaded Next Ram is it's also a pretty fun design card, too.
Shades.
Okay, well, now the question is, does Hype want to attack? Is he afraid of just getting a Soulfire, like off of a Drake or Mountain Giant and Soulfire? But now it's like an interesting question for Show. Does he want to Hellfire and clear what's here? Because he won't get a chance to Hellfire kill off the Shade next turn. But then he's missing a drop. However, his drop is one of the easiest to deal with. For like Druid has a class that has silence available to one of its most versatile cards compared to some other ones. So it's not like Drake is the most
Yeah.
solid play either.
Yeah, Hellfire, I think it's a really good choice there. And good point about the Twilight Drake. You know, it's like against Shaman, against even not Druid requires 2 moves at least, but against Shaman, I know Twilight Drake's usually a really good way, or something better played with like a Shadow Flame instead, so that you get at least some value from it instead of just dying straight up to a very cheap card. So, but again, it's a little bit harder to remove again with the Druid, even though Keeper's good. All right, Belcher here. Still can't get down. We're still opting not to get down either of the Twilight Drakes.
Yeah,
Feels like he'll
Sludge
fall
Belcher fits
too
the
far
curve
behind.
slightly
Yeah.
better. And it functions as the same thing because you know your opponent has the opportunity to keep with the Grove. If you do, you just. It's like the same as getting hexed. Your opponent basically removed your minion and then developed something on the board, and then you're behind. So he's taking the safer approach here.
All
He
right, so
wants
this
actually
is
hype to use
interesting.
silence on this minion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. This is an interesting decision for Hyped. I mean, either you just try to develop the board and pretty much just pass turn after that, or using the Savage and really putting a lot into that Belcher. But he could lose those guys for free. I mean, just with very
Well, he
little
will.
value here.
Well, the idea is you're losing those guys no matter what you do. You actually can't stop it. Even if you silence it, you're going to have to trade into it at some point. So might as well just develop your 4-6, which is, you can't just soul fight or siphon soul. And from here, Hype will just kind of figure out a way to potentially kill this and use. Actually, he can. He just uses hero power and Twilight, and his silence on Twilight Drake. Although he's calculating Savage Roar damage at the moment.
Yeah, Savage Roar.
But I think the Twilight Drake
That's
is
a little
much
off. Yeah. Savage Roar on turn 7 actually would be really good if you could still have some semblance of a board.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't think Lotheb does too much.
Not
And
really.
you want to kind of protect the health on the Spectre Knight as much as possible to put it out of range of like Shadow Flame, but I think you don't have a choice here. I think you have to trade in.
It's just that 1-2, you know, that 1-2 taunt is just so annoying. Especially with him having oozes and his hero power only doing one, so it actually requires 2 actions to kill it. It's either that or it's like it takes a savaged ooze to take it out too, which is pretty rough. But he's gonna be able to take out the Twilight Drake there, and it ends up being a pretty good turn.
All right, SjoW draws Leroy. He has parts of the combo, but that's not relevant really at the moment. He's got Twilight Drake number 2.
Okay,
You're gonna cross your fingers.
it's interesting.
Now, if Hype draws Twilight Drake, Keeper of the Grove to answer it immediately. Wait, double Savage Roar. Hold on.
Whoa, whoa.
That's 8,
That's
16,
5, that's 15,
20, 23. That's 23
23.
damage.
Oh my gosh! Look at Hype! Look at Hype shaking his head.
What?
He's making sure. He's making sure, adding it
No,
up.
that's not how this game's supposed to go.
Wow. Look at SjoW's
Oh,
face
man.
here. This is gonna be. Oh,
Joe's
look at him. He
furrowing
doesn't
his
even
eyebrows.
realize.
He's like, wait, what?
He didn't even know that was a possibility.
Oh,
That's
man.
crazy.
You
Wow.
don't play around that. You don't play around
No,
that.
it's rightfully so too. It's like,
Wow.
wow, that's that was a shocking
man.
win there.
That was the epitome of wrecked. Like, I don't know how else to describe that game. Like,
So it's-
SjoW got wrecked. Like,
That's pretty much the variation, the flavor that we've been seeing most of Deck Warriors Season 2 finals. But the players are ready. Game number 2. We're going to go into game number 2 right now. All right, see if SjoW can recover from that. Man, sometimes, man, you can get a little tilted when losing like that, just out of nowhere.
yeah, but SjoW's experienced this multiple times in his past. He's a former pro gamer in StarCraft 2, where sometimes you just lose to the most ridiculous cheese builds that your opponent can throw at you, and it just happens in Hearthstone. I mean, you can't be too upset. You can sure be a little frustrated, but I think SjoW's got a pretty good chance. Now, both players are off to a very rocky start. You're not really having anything on your first few turns. Hype does pick up Innervate, which is nice, so it's something, but after that, like say he picks up Savage Roar, he has nothing else to do.
Well, both getting off to a bad start. Who do you think that hurts more, though?
Certainly hurts the Priest more, but now it's SjoW is like actually really picking up here. He's got Injured Blade Master, Circle of Healing,
Yeah, absolutely.
so that's pretty decent.
All right, so here comes the Druid of the Claw, too. So really, they only had a bad turn 1. Or turn 1 and 2, I guess, for Hyped.
Yeah, for sure.
Here we go.
This is really hard for Priest to deal with because the 4 attack and the 6 health is just presenting such a problem. And because of the Innervate, I thought SjoW would be struggling because no matter what he did, he would get completely bullied. But the Circle of Healing actually has helped so much that I think SjoW is gonna be completely okay here.
Oh, wow, another one. If you had
Like,
both
Hype's
Force
only
Savings on.
response to this is Wrath. Oh, Shades.
I think you have to deal with it, though, man. The Injured Blade Master, I feel like, is one of those minions that the priests really anchor off of if they can get it down early.
But how about a card that needs early setup like Shades and Naxxramas? I mean, I kind of agree. I think dealing with it and wrathing is good, but then your follow-up play to just let Priest take the board is also really weak. Like, at least you tempt your opponent to hero power. If you tempt your opponent to hero power, then you can still wrath next turn if you're kind of greedy. Versus if you wrath now, then your opponent will not have to spend his 2 mana healing, and then you lose the board.
Okay, yeah, I could see that, too.
Ooh, that is a great draw.
That is. He's going to be able to. Well, let's see. Let's see what he's going to do here. He's got three. He's basically got 5 mana to play with.
Well, I feel like this is just a fantastic draw. You're gonna have a 4/5, and you bait out the shades to attack instead of like waiting. Like you're afraid of shades because you can't kill it off with Holy Nova, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it grows to like to be this force you can't deal with. But if he baits it out, then it's fine. If he doesn't, it's fine. You heal and draw cards. Like this is such a big draw for SjoW and extremely important because he gets the card advantage like in so many ways now.
Yeah, good play. Could have gotten the Cult Master out. I mean, the Cultist out too, but wouldn't have lined up very well for if he does end up making this Keeper play here. Or Wrath. I mean,
Maybe
it just depends
just
on what the play
Wrath
is
Hero
here.
Power.
Yeah, Wrath Hero Power is probably the play.
Next turn, you can Keeper and Hero Power, or you can Force of Nature, which doesn't seem to be much better, but at least you stop this Northshire Cleric from completely going off, because, you know, with Circle of Healing combinations and just Hero Power, there's so much strength in what the Priest can get off here in this mid game. So, kind of more comfortable just spending Wrath here and then opening up your turn next, rather than developing this Keeper of the Grove, which can get sniped, by the way, by this injured Blade Master very easily.
Right.
The alternative is
turn,
killing
though.
to keep the injured Blade Master now.
Time waits for no one.
I mean, if he heals it again, it could be really bad. If he draws us another circle, it could be really bad for you.
That's true. Killing off the
So-
injured Blade Master could be a priority, but I feel like this play gives you a lot more options in the next couple turns.
Yeah, it's gonna grow. I mean, your next range will grow to 4 too, which he heals it. You can still kill it with the Keeper, and like you said, and
All right.
lots of options here. Let's see.
So now has injured Blade Master number 2.
Ooh,
Ooh, or an
Undertaker's.
Undertaker.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much put another priority on the board, but could get a 2-for-1 now with that Nax, that Shades.
Injured Blade Master is surely worse than Lotheb, but Lotheb needs to be timed properly, especially against this Druid deck. So it's not like a common way to just drop it, so that way there's no contest. If your opponent drops Sludge Belcher, you'll be okay. So he goes for an alternative, which is Dark Cultist, so that way his board is even more strong if you choose to trade. But then this might prompt Hype to start striking back with like a silence or something, if he feels like he doesn't want to wait any longer.
Silencing.
Man, his plays stink. No matter how you look
This
at
play
it.
is really bad. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that injured Blade Master is so tough at this point. Now you have the Cultist on the board, which is going to potentially buff the injured Blade Master, and this is where the hero power for the Priest is just amazing, right? In these type of control-oriented minion battles, they're just keeping minions on the board and just making cost efficiency of these minions even more, right?
Might
So
have to kill.
it's
Wow, is it a pass? Oh goodness,
it's a pass. Going
that's
for turn
that spot for
what-
Hype for sure.
I'm trying to think of what's going to happen in turn 7. I mean, he doesn't have any. I mean, maybe another minion comes down and Dark Holders can buff that another minion for 3, but
Well, he's hoping his opponent has Defender of Argus, and then Defender of Argus allows Black Knight, and then the Black Knight allows him to swing. So
Okay.
that's the ideal situation, but we know that's not possible. So the show doesn't even have Defender to be tempted. And also, if SjoW's been paying attention, he should be aware that Hype's deck does play Black Knight, and if so, needs to play around that opportunity.
okay.
like
Well,
Lothar.
I mean, at least now his next. I mean, his Shades of Nax has has 2 bona fide targets now that that seem they're going to get, I guess, value or just at least a very clean value with either potentially 2-for-1 in combo with the Keeper of the Grove or just straight up with the Lotheb.
Yeah, now
He's got
there's a
bigger
2-for-1
problems.
opportunity for Shade, like you said, and he can finally actually try fighting back for the board. And he wasn't planning on using spells anyways, so the Lotheb is just strictly a 5/5 body.
He's just got multiple problems right now, so that's what's tough. And the Lotheb timing can't even use Force of Nature to even try to figure in solving this problem here.
He could use the attack and even kill off Keeper of the not Keeper of the Grove, the Undertaker, and then trade. But I think Injured Blade Master represents too much of a threat. Like if he goes for this and then kills Dark Cultist, he gets another 2-for-1 away. But then the buff of the health for the Dark Cultist can really backfire if he has no other way to deal with it.
Okay, well, I mean he definitely prefers for it to hit the Undertaker here. But getting
Man.
3 on the Lotheb would even it out, given and Force of Nature obviously is 6. Trying to think of
Well,
which
he's
health
got a
level would be better.
excellent turn here with Shadow Madness. You take the Harvest Golem for
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
And then
for
you
sure.
trade into it.
And SjoW just looking in dominant position right now in this game. This game 2 of this series. And potentially puts up another, just another Injured Blade Master. So
I mean, it's just a
getting
hard
better.
matchup for Druid once again, like we said. The slow start for the Druid was pretty poor. And also in this matchup in general, you're not favored to win considering how much value the Priest gets.
okay,
Wow,
well,
with the Wrath draw,
that's
that's really empty. He might be just dead on board even if he wraths for 1 and tries. Let's see. 8, 5. No, no. It is 16 according to right now, so needs to eliminate. So he can still be a little bit, but you're not sure if the Undertaker can just buff up a little bit and push for damage anyways.
he could cut it down to just the cultist and the
Yes.
hard damage golem, and so I think that's what he's going to do. Just get into some reasonable shape. You do have Cenarius next turn, so if for whatever reason SjoW doesn't have a great play this turn, you could get back in it.
Yeah, kill off the Injured Blade Master for
Yeah.
sure. It's just too much potential. Hype's doing what he can to survive, so as much as he would love to wrath and draw a card, he's got nothing else to do if he wants to live. And Cenarius is a card that he can play next turn, but SjoW draws Shadow Word Death.
Shadow Word Death.
So he's got ways to do like really cool stuff of stealing his opponent's minions, or in just this case, killing it and pushing through for damage anyways. All right, Hype's just in survival mode. It's like I can't really win, and I really don't know what I can do here, but I can survive.
Yeah, getting rid of Sylvanas definitely limits some of SjoW's crazy potential there. Okay, he's not gonna actually. Okay, just more of a value play there.
The priest deck can't burst. Remember, it's not like the burst comes in like Holy Nova and Zombie Chow with Akanai Soul Priest, and there's no signs of either just yet. So it's not like your opponent is staring at a win condition at the moment. Oh wow.
Oh, he's an innervate too, so he really has 8 right now if he wants. I don't know if that's gonna help or not, but the Ancient Lore is not too shabby too. Gonna be able to draw 2 cards. Okay, Cenarius is gonna come out now and just still kind of just buying him some time more than anything else. He's gonna lose Cenarius to the Shadow Word Death.
Well, let's see. Can SjoW kill him this turn? Oh,
Oh,
I like
nice.
it.
Wow,
I like it.
it's
So fancy. Oh, SjoW is so
Ancient
fancy.
Lore.
I like it. He had Zombie Chow, so I was thinking, like, he drew Zombie Chow, so I was thinking, can you kill that Zombie Chow? But of course, I forgot about Ancient of Lore. But you know what would have been even cooler? Oh,
What?
man. He should have played Zombie Chow and then healed his Zombie Chow to kill it, so he can do 5 damage to hype. So SjoW,
Yeah.
that was a cool play. Like
Starting now.
Watch your
Okay.
The light shall bring victory.
Okay, both of them not too great there. Cultist really needs a 1-drop. Not the best for show there.
that's pretty awful. In fact, looks like you have nothing for 2 turns. I mean, it can improve with 1 or 2 draws, but if you miss turn 1 and turn 2, that is bad news. Oh, okay. Well, you still can get Circle of Healing, so that'll help you a
That
little
could even
bit.
things out, yeah. But he's got to get it. He doesn't have it yet. And
Oh,
height, you
man.
know, really sending
You
a
missed
lot
turn
of
1
spells.
and turn 2. Well, that is bad.
Thought Steal is pretty terrible against Rogue too. It's Rogue is the one class I think I whiff almost all the time on. There's not much to get, honestly. Like Gadgetzan, Lotheb.
Leroy and Shadow Step.
Yeah, Leroy. Okay, Leroy and Shadow Step can be.
Talked about Priest not having burst. There's your burst.
Yeah, there you go. Steal some burst from the Rogue. Ancient Art of Rogue.
Oh man. Backstab, Fan of Knives. But then maybe you don't want to use Fan of Knives. You may just backstab, and then Hero Power. Oh no, he has
Yeah.
a Shiv too.
It's Shiv.
So
You
he's
could-
got
you
many ways to remove this. Depends on what resources he wants to conserve.
option.
He could Shiv, Dagger, and trade the Thanos in. But I don't know if you want to do that. I think you want to keep the spell power. So I think maybe just using one of your removals here and then trading. I don't know. This is where I leave it up to Hype because
touching
he's
the
the
earth.
expert.
Yeah, I mean definitely.
Like this is the
Definitely.
moment, Jamman, where I'm like pulling up Skype and I type to Hype my situation. I'm like, what do I do? And then he's like, you just do this. I'm like, of course, my opponent's on the rope and he's just waiting for me to finish my turn.
He actually touched the earthen ring, which that'd be interesting if he did that.
Well, an Earthing Ring means you backstab and trade in with your Thalnos. So he gets like the board control. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is a
That's what he's doing.
Earthing Ring play. Alright. Heal your opponent. There you go.
Yeah.
Now they're even. They're
Light
square.
shall
SjoW healed him, and I heal you.
It's the light shall burn you move there from the rogue. There's
Okay.
circle healing. Okay. That's really good for him.
Yeah, you don't
Can
want to
actually
use
get the
Circle
full-
Healing on this injured Blade Master because of sap, but you actually had the next best thing, which is Power Word Shield.
Yeah.
So, pretty decent turn for SjoW here.
Hype does have an answer here. Got the poison now.
Right. Well,
So many
Not the most elegant thing, but
he's got a way to deal with it.
he could shiv too. Shiv in dagger.
Seems like the best course of action.
Gnomish. Would have been nice to have gotten at that turn.
I don't think there's a way you can keep this alive without using preparation, and that kind of stinks. Maybe. No. Do you really use a preparation to remove this and keep your 3/3 alive? Do you value it that much when you know your opponent could just simply drop a Sludge Belcher and you're in a position where Earthen Ring Farseer still isn't that worth it? Like you're basically trading your preparation for 3 damage. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it too. But it does hurt to lose your minion on the board against this priest.
Okay, well, now SjoW kind of has a really weak turn unless he draws something right now. Oh, okay.
That's
now
good.
he's got a pretty
good.
decent turn.
Looks like he's gonna do the Chow anyways with the Soul Priest.
He's gonna commit to it before he sees Gadgetzan Auctioneer. Oh man, I thought he was gonna play Dark Cultist and maybe Zombie Chow because
That's a
it's
good
about
point.
the board control.
Mm-hmm.
But-
Yeah.
Now he's giving Hype an opportunity to remove it. Like, and
That's
this
really...
is such a relief off your mind if you're hyped.
Yep, and he is going to remove it. Whoops.
I'm not sure, but maybe SjoW can Thought Steal this turn. Show me what's up. Oh, he can heal as well.
Is someone injured?
Seems like a better play.
The damned stand ready.
Well, the cult is a strong play too.
Oh yeah, sure. I just always want to see what Thought Steal comes out because it's exciting to cast that. Wow, how about this? Right on time.
Oh,
In fact,
boy.
that's the exact turn he wanted him to come.
Okay, this is going to be insane. He's got both poisons too, so it just needs a Blade Flurry.
I wonder.
I mean, the only thing that annoys him is that he has one weapon charge. So he can't just like simply Gadget Sand, Deadly Poison, Coin Conceal. But I mean, come on, take the good with the bad here, hyped.
I got the best deals.
First world Miracle Rogue problems. Alright. Picks up Leroy and Shadow Step. Pretty good. Not a bad pair. Alright. Cold Blood, pretty good. Just more damage. If you prep, what do you prep out? Fan of Knives most likely.
Yeah, I think Fan of Knights would be the best. But it doesn't really kill anything this instant
That's
unless
true.
you swing.
You might draw a better
could
spell
swing.
next turn.
Yeah.
Wow. And this is where, like, he makes this because he knows his opponent used Akanai, so it's probably harder. Ooh, SjoW gonna Thought Steal.
Well, there's no poisons left, so there, you know, like if there is a time to Thought Steal, it's like now. But he doesn't know that. But he just knows one poison's gone. That's not bad for what he could have gotten.
It's useful cards in a sense where it plays similar to the Priest's game plan. It just trying to zerg the board.
Yeah.
Right away.
All right. So Hype now has a lot of potential here. We'll start things off with the preparation. He wants Blade Flurry more than anything else.
Let's see. What can he can he remove most of this at this turn? What is that? It's gonna be cold
Okay.
blood there.
Prep. Fan.
Oh, sap.
Sap's
Okay,
also
sap's
kind
good.
of useful here. Sap on the 4/5. Because you're gonna want to kill Zombie Chow for the life. All right, you have another Gadget Sand, so you can continue to go through draws in case you want. Do you want to establish Lothad? You want a big Van Cleef, but then it's just gonna get targeted by. Yeah, it's just gonna get targeted by Shadow Word Death. I think this is the most powerful way so that you can establish damage. And now that you have Gadget Sand number 2, I think you're much more willing to commit this one to an attack, and you're just kind of okay with it.
Yeah, I mean he's looking at lethal right now. I mean he's got. I mean, the show's gonna have to do something about at least one of the minions.
Wow.
Leroy Shadows. It's got 12. Yeah, he's got 12. He's got 25 right now. And
Wow,
man, given
this is
Lothar
tough.
play, it's like you take the 8 mana Shadow Word Death here.
No, what you do is you Dark Cultist and SI7, but
Yeah.
that's like you're still most likely gonna die to a Leroy combo. Like that's the best you can do. Committing a Shadow Word Death here is kind of redundant when you can remove by committing the
Yeah.
defender
It's
lock.
the Argus and the.
The damned stand ready.
Can he die this? I mean, there's definitely a draws that he can die. I mean, another Shadow Step.
Right away.
Oh yeah.
There's not a. I mean, an Eviscerate, probably. No.
Four is
It's only
just
8
like
mana.
because your opponent needs preparation, but now Hyped can start fighting back for the board really effectively. He's got the strongest minion. He can start isolating Dark Cultists so that way he doesn't maximize value. And he's got ways to continue to draw. And remember, the Priest deck is not one to put on pressure. So
Yep,
Hype's in
that's
such
right.
a dominant position here that I feel like he almost can't do any wrong as long as he makes sure that these minions on the board die this turn. Like if you fan SI7, You can't fan doubles SI7. That's
No,
annoying.
you can't
If you could
double
fan double
SI7.
SI7, that's actually the easiest clear.
I still think fan and it's tough. He could draw 2 here.
Well, fan
Fan
SI7
into
should
1
be
SI7.
Fan into coin SI7. Oh, Sap's not bad. Sap's actually allows you to, I guess, clear the board effectively anyways.
Nova. Yeah, Nova's gonna be Nova could be pretty good here. Let's see. Unless he just decides to
Nope.
kill the cultist here. Nope. Okay.
Wow, doesn't care at all
Yeah, doesn't
about
care.
the Dark Cultist.
And still has a draw for lethal, even if he clears the board here. So- maybe, unless he healed. He's probably healed in some way, either Holy Nova or
Yeah, circle
okay, he's gonna go
killing,
to
you
circle.
draw first. Then you can Holy Nova.
Another circle. It doesn't really.
Oh, of course, you have Shadow Word Death. Forgot about that card. There you
Okay, so yeah, he's gonna be able to remove that, and I think the only
go.
way
Sludge
he.
Belcher. This is actually really important.
Yeah, Sludge Belcher's gonna be really strong here. Just really, you're just impeding the Leroy combo, and Hype's still not in range of it
My fate is
in his hand of the lethal combo here, but it really depends on what he draws. He could draw another Shadow Step. Even this would put him pretty close too. All right, you play that Van Cleave too? Why not? Oh no, I
It's a
think that
6/6. If he play this,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he should.
The Brotherhood
Well, I guess he's gonna
shall
heal up. It makes sense. It's gonna be an 8/8.
Right away.
Pretty
Yeah.
strong.
he knows one Cold Blood's out too, so
Well, this is an attempt to bait out Sap before his Sludge Belcher.
yeah. So it avoids
So
the
that way, Sludge Belcher is much more powerful. His opponent already showed double deadly poison as well,
I got the best deals.
so that also means it's very unlikely. Ooh,
Oh,
second
there's
Shadow
Shadow
Step, so this is nice. Oh, the Gadge Stand just got stopped right here. Do you Blade
Yeah,
Flurry to draw a
it's-
card? Ugh. You have 5 cards left anyways. What else are you searching for? Oh, that sequence of events.
not good. Definitely not good. Losing the blade there too. It might have been good to keep it.
You might consider backstabbing Gadget Stand here. I mean, it's not. You know that's gonna die next turn, anyways.
I'm trying to think of like what other card does he want here?
Many options.
Well, anything would be nice. Just anything that's not this. Like you need
Does he have an
more.
eviscerate left? Does he have one eviscerate left?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he has some. He definitely has some damage potential here.
Let's see what he gets. Earthing
Okay,
Ring?
well,
That doesn't-
this is something that he would have gotten next turn, and he wouldn't be having lethal.
Ooh,
Alright.
okay, so now
It's-
Belcher is going to be pretty amazing if the
Yeah, I think you Holy Nova Belcher here.
mhm. I mean, even getting the cultist buff on the Belcher would be pretty amazing.
Right away.
Oh yeah, that's also a viable thing too. That show might be
Yeah.
considering. He's putting all his eggs in one basket to make sure this Sludge Belcher becomes a 3/8.
Yeah. I don't know how you're going to remove that.
Did Hype use both of his saps?
consider.
That's what I'm trying to remember, actually. Definitely 8/8. Did he use it on a taunt earlier? He might have one more, and that might be what he's digging for, actually.
I wonder.
All right. Well, I think the Sludge Belcher with the Holy Nova play is strongest. It opens up more options too because you draw. You're gonna heal yourself at the same time. And,
All right,
you
there you
also
go.
have effective lethal, I believe, with Zombie Chow. Oh, you can't kill it. Just
He doesn't
kidding.
have the circle, yeah.
That's
If he
right.
can kill it, yeah, you're right. He doesn't. He already had. He has a pretty good chance of it.
Oof.
Another
Okay.
prep. Wow.
He
Okay,
needs to
can draw
draw
one more.
something.
You draw one more. But even if he saps here, it doesn't. It's not gonna
Almost out of
matter
cards.
because he can just throw it down again next turn, right?
Right. Might need to play Farseer. He has only had one card left, anyways.
He's going to go for a huge Van Cleef. Farseer Van Cleef, maybe? Or Asian Van Cleef?
Uh, if it's gonna be
Dagger?
Agent Van Cleef, ugh. I think if you kill this now in SI7 Agent, then you actually kill off the remaining one Taunter. So it seems like this is the best course of action, but Van Cleef is also just
I
so
think you
big,
go
like
Van-
you said. But then
Yeah,
your
I
opponent
think
might
I
have a
would-
second Shadow Word deck. Like Van Cleef is like the Hail Mary, and then SI7 Agent is like the safer play.
Choose soon.
Not to mention that your opponent has 4 damage, so... Or he has 5 damage, rather, if you just Van Cleef, and he might kill you with Akanai Soul Priest. You need to actually SI7
Yeah.
Agent to prevent
that's a good point.
killing.
You know he's got one more Akonai Soul Priest. Just that easy play. I think you gotta. You probably gotta.
Ah, he goes for Van
Well,
Cleef,
no, he
though,
goes
so that's
for it.
game. Yep. I mean, he's just trying to go for as much damage, because the problem with Van Cleef is that it gets traded in easily, and then he might not actually be able to win. But it looks like SjoW is going to go for a little flare. The last card in Hype's deck was Shiv, by the way, if anyone was curious.
Okay, so he
Oh,
didn't have
Shadow
that last.
Madness, of course.
Well
You
played.
do Shadow Madness. Yeah.
Using your his
Oh,
own
he
guys.
could have BM'd. Oh, wait, couldn't you Thought Steal and then drop Zombie Chow, Akanai heal, and then Shiv? Oh, you don't have enough mana. Never
No,
mind.
you don't have. Yeah.
Aw. But if you
Alright.
Shiv your own Zombie Chow for the 5 damage, how pimp is that?
That would be pretty pimp, man. That definitely would be 10 out of 10 BM. But SjoW ends up getting a lead here, 2-1 in this best of 7 series. And it looks like Hype's going to go to his next, to his next deck that he's kind of known for, which is the Mage. And it looks like the games are ready, so we're just going to go straight into game number 4.
The life.
Here we
You
go.
asked for it.
Yeah, now SjoW won 2 in a row with this Priest deck.
And that was a
And
bad
Priest-
matchup for him, so he ended up winning that matchup.
Yeah, the Miracle Rogue losing there was actually a very big deal. Because now Hyped is, he's going to have to make sure this Mage deck doesn't fall, or else he has to 3-0 with his last remaining one. And that's really tough against a player like SjoW.
Okay, let's get that Doomsayer.
Is someone injured?
Didn't seem happy about the Doomsayer. Okay, well, SjoW, he's got both Injured Blade Masters and a Circle of Healing. Do you circle on the first one? Get greedy? Or do you wait for the second one?
All right, well,
I think you wait for this.
the second one is really greedy, but I think it's what you got to do against the Mage. It just, he already just used a Frostbolt, so the likelihood of him having
Yeah.
the ability to answer it's kind of little.
That's true.
Wow.
Well, this is really good, Doomsayer. This is pretty much serving its purpose. You get off to a slow start, just throw that Doomsayer down, and it typically is gonna reset the just reset tempo for you, so that you can go first.
Do you want to cycle this Power Word Shield? That's pretty much the only question this turn. There's no.
I don't think
reason
you
do
need to.
anything else.
I mean, turn 4, you have a 3-drop and a 1, so you could do it next turn.
Yeah, but then what if you pick up Undertaker?
Your turn to bleed. Your turn.
Yeah, it's not a very large percent chance of that happening, but
Okay. Just something to consider.
yeah,
I
definitely
can
something
agree
to
with
consider.
I'll show them all.
All right. Well, Hyped also put Ragnaros and Ansonitis, so he's got some direct damage now. before he didn't have fireballs, but now he's got effective fireballs through the spells that he can cast with Antonidas.
Now SjoW has a 4/9 injured blade master. Oh, and another circle blade. Nice. Oh, he's not gonna use it though. He's gonna save it for maybe some circle aconite
Ooh.
combos or just some drawing capability.
Twilight Drake. Oh, it's tempting. Because if you get the duplicates on the Twilight Drake, it's so hard for Priest to deal with these minions. But if you get the Ice Block, you basically don't really get much from this mad scientist.
Right, so that's what he gets. I just didn't care too much what he got as to what he was going to throw down, but he gets a duplicate. That's good. Very
Yeah.
good duplicate.
Absolutely. Oh, Defender of Argus. Ooh.
So he can actually... Can't remove the Belcher with the Injured Blade Master, but he could actually hit it if he wanted to and heal it. But I don't think he's going to do it. Just going to wait. And maybe Argus, yeah, Argus into just removing it next turn.
I wonder if Argus
Another
was slightly
Doomsayer.
stronger. But I guess since you're trying to go for value, like the Argus can be really powerful the following turn.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's sometimes not about like what's powerful versus what makes your opponent uncomfortable.
Wow, Doomsayer's not bad here, actually. I mean, Sylvanas is a strong play, too. But
Right.
Doomsayer is the compelling play.
Well, Doomsayer is strong if you have a follow-up play the next turn. And
Yeah.
the next turn you're just gonna be dropping Drake. So
Bad.
that's like okay. Versus Sylvanas also bullies the board. And I mean you're not losing Doomsayer for just 2 cards. Like Priest is capable of so much more. Like they're gonna drop a bunch of 1-drops, Haunted Creeper, Loot Hoarder, and then that's when you like Frost Nova Doomsayer and then just laugh at the fact that they can't do anything.
Yeah, and Doomsayer, I feel like, is especially strong against Priest, because it doesn't have... I mean, people aren't running Pain these days. It doesn't run Silence. Most of them don't run Silence. Maybe you'll run into some Silences here and there on the ladder, but at this level, they're not running Silence. So is there any other way? I mean, you can steal it with Cabal, but that doesn't change anything. So I feel like Doomsayer is exceptionally strong against Priest. All right, so duplicates. We can get 2 Belchers now.
Yeah,
Very good.
Tough stuff.
Yeah, really good, actually. Belchers are not easy for Priest to remove.
Ooh. Thought Steal.
Oh, he could get some
This can
giant-
always be
he could-
fun, but
Wow.
2 of the best cards are already in Hype's hand.
Yeah, but he's got some more good ones.
What do you want to even Thought Steal?
Oh,
I guess
Oh,
double Arcane Intellect.
how about... Yeah. How about card draw, huh?
I mean, you're not really hurting on card draw. You're sitting at a lot already.
Yeah, he's sitting on that circle of healing, too. He could actually create a crazy drawing scenario if he wanted.
Hype's
Well,
not hitting
Hype's-
any of his spells. This is
Yeah,
kind
he's
of
got no
annoying.
spells,
Like,
so Antonidas doesn't feel great, actually.
well, no, you rarely drop Antonidas on 7. You drop Antonidas with a bunch of other combinations. But,
Yeah.
is he
Drake's not bad.
seriously thinking about it?
I mean, his Drake would be...
Oh, well, he
He's
wants to bait
worth
out Death
7.
and then play Ragnaros. But do you really need to do that?
I don't think so. I mean, Sylvanas like presents such a okay. Presents
Wow,
such a threat on the
This
board
is like a
already.
bluff. Like, this is like, oh, well, I got Antonidas, buddy, and you better kill it. If you don't kill it, then I'm going to be getting a lot of fireballs.
Well,
And then the weird
funny
thing
is he
is SjoW can't kill it.
Can't kill it. He seriously can't kill it. So, is he Arcane Intellect and really dig for it? He might. Does he overdraw it? No, he doesn't overdraw if he does that. But this is really scary to him. And Hype could
This guy's
absolutely
hilarious.
just start drawing spell. I mean, he could draw a spell next turn, right? Just a trap or whatever.
He doesn't overdraw if he Arcane Intellects.
Yeah, he's right at 10, and he'll definitely play a card after that.
But the problem is, like, before, if he had Cabal Shadow Priest, he could take the 1/2 and then kill. Now he needs Shadow Word Death.
Oh,
Ah,
I mean, there's great cards. It's just they're not great cards for him right now. Unfortunately, this is pretty bad. I mean, he has a great potential turn with like double Undertaker and either of his drops, but he's got to figure out what's something to do with this board. Oh my gosh, he's just gonna try to do Sylvanas here.
I don't know. I wonder why also SjoW didn't play not Sylvanas, sorry, play Lotheb as a way to answer a spells.
Oh my gosh, he leaves himself so susceptible to a Flame Strike right now.
Oh my goodness, you're right.
Oh
But
god, if he tops the Flame
there is
Strike.
no Flame Strike.
Oh, there's no Flame Strike in this deck, right? I forgot.
Wait, really?
Maybe is there? Let me see.
I'm just saying he doesn't have it in his hand. But if he doesn't
Oh,
have it in his
I thought you
deck,
meant it
it's
was just
really-
in general. Oh, he probably has one actually. Now I think about it. Let me see.
How do you have no spells as this mage deck? You
This
just
is
have
this is
all
like
minions.
this is like the miracle that had like all minions. He's got 2 Flame Strikes. Sorry, my bad. And like SjoW kind of knows that, so it's interesting. He just took the risk and just played
This is
right
so
into
awkward.
it. Yeah, now
This is
it's kind
awkward
of
because like hyped imagined this turn playing out very differently, but now it's like, do you set up a defense and like actually protect Antonius even though you threw him out there?
Do you play Rag? I mean, you know he's not responding with Shadow Word Death, so he doesn't have Shadow Word Death, right? But I guess there's too many targets here to probably play that.
Yeah,
I want
for sure. There's way
Do you
too many
protect-
minions out there for Rag to be effective.
You protect these two? Because if
You just kill the
yeah,
Undertakers.
kill the Undertakers. Okay.
To battle.
Yeah. All right. That's a good play.
All right, well, SjoW still has the option available to him to Lothep and deny it. Still no death.
Yeah.
Or Holy Nova.
There's just no removability on either side of the table right now. This is crazy. What if you go with a duplicate right now?
Your hand's too clogged. You don't need duplicate.
Yeah, you really don't need any more cards. You got so many
If
solid minions right now.
If anything, it might be Sylvanas to challenge like the death rattle effects of what his Sylvanas do. But then it's like you're risking. No, that's a stupid play. What am I talking about? Because then you risk
I
that
don't
it,
think
like,
and you risk
stolen.
losing Sylvanas. That would be
Right.
ultimately bad.
But that's the same case of whatever legitimate threat you do. So like,
I-
you're in the same boat no matter what you do with Cairn.
I think you
Both of
just
you.
throw down more cards. You just throw down more. Just do Argus here. Throw down a Loot Hoarder.
What is he saving
Or-
Lotheb for? That's the play that I've expected by now, but he's saving it for something. Or does he just mentally blocked it and just like hasn't seen the Lotheb in his hand? Some players do that.
Like shield.
They're like really focused on one thing and they're forgetting.
Could be.
Okay.
Lotheb trades. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's more targets just for Sylvanas right now, but yeah, you gotta heal that 5/1 just so he can't ping it.
Is Hype gonna draw a spell finally?
Gotta draw us.
No.
Oh my
What?
god.
Another Belcher?
Dude, let me look at his deck. How is he missing? So, I mean, he's still got 2 water elementals, but that's like all of his minions right there. Oh, he's got the giants too. That's crazy. He's got all of his traps. Except for the 1 duplicate, right? One frost. He used 1 frostbolt. Actually, he's still got intellects, novas, polymorph, flame strikes. Yeah, he's got like 7, 8 spells in his hand. He's been missing. All right,
Man.
so turn 9 here. He's been sitting on those drakes for a long time too, and drakes are pretty good. I mean, you can't silence those things. They're 4 damage against a priest. It's been interesting that he's had better options like every single turn.
I'm trying to think what's the best course of action. The obvious play is to do Drake and Belcher. And then, but the thing is, if you plan a Suicide Sylvanas, you want to use hero power to maximize the chances of taking one of his top minions.
Time runs out on me.
And you probably want to take the minion that gets buffed here by the cultist.
I think you see what Sylvanas does first. He might take the Loot Hoarder.
Oh, to the cultist. Wow.
Ah,
Exactly what he
alright.
wanted.
There you go.
Exactly what he wanted. Oh my gosh, that thing buffs Antonidas too.
There you go. No need
Feels-
to actually use your hero power if you can pick exactly your target. Okay, well, finally, there's some closure on this Antonidas for show.
It's finally over.
First, you draw.
Yeah. First, you just crash it into the Belcher.
Hey,
There you go.
See if that changes anything. Oh, wow. What aren't you convenient?
A little late, but he doesn't need it now.
Circle of healing.
Yeah, and now this is where the Drake is
Then that
really
buffs up
annoying.
the Drake, actually.
I know, this is
Uh-oh.
where it's extremely annoying, the Drake.
I think SjoW forgot about this Drake here, but... live and let live. He's like, God, this sucks. The alternative was so bad. He's just like, ugh. Twilight Drakes. I thought I didn't have to deal with handlock. Awesome.
And what's gonna be bad news for him too is that another one's coming.
Duplicate. Why not duplicate? Isn't this one of the better cards to duplicate?
Yeah, I would think
Aw.
so. Well, he's out of circles now, so maybe he wants to set up like I mean a Belcher I think would be better, and that's probably something he can set up.
I guess the
turn.
best target's actually your Sylvanas because you know there's so many threats.
Yeah, yeah. It's harder to set up Sylvanas though, just to get your opponent to kill Sylvanas. That's it's pretty tough. Belcher's probably likely.
All right. Well, I think another Drake is in order at this time.
There's the
I will entertain a motion to play Twilight Drake.
Draws 3 spells in a row there.
Okay.
No fireballs this
Hype
game.
definitely has a facial hair to be a bureaucrat.
I have no time for games.
Yeah, I could see that.
Hmm.
I could see him dressing those ruffles too, and
Oh,
Sword fight.
you're rewinding
Sword
a
fight.
lot, Chan, man. I mean,
I was going back.
Back in your day, I'm sure the
Oh,
government
man.
people probably wore that, but nowadays people just use blazers and suits and ties. That's what we use in the 21st century. I'm just messing, man.
That's so funny.
What secret is this, by the way? It's like, is this duplicate or is this ice block?
He's testing. Well, he can't really test it by hitting him in the face, but so I don't think he's gonna even care. Well, SjoW does have the ability to Shadow Word Death his Sylvanas here, so he can actually take something. Unfortunately, he might take a 1-2. Oh, well, he can Shadow Madness. Force a Drake steal, but that doesn't solve all of his problems here.
Yeah, Shadow Madness doesn't really accomplish much. Most likely
it's
setting
just-
up your own Lotheb. Like, double
Yeah.
Lotheb here is okay. And then you even have duplicate so that you have double Belcher as well. Next turn. Yeah. You just need to not die.
Alright, there we go.
Let none survive.
So, Hype has a chance for lethal. Goes YOLO.
Yeah, or if he draws his second Frostbolt.
Oh, Shadow Flame, a Flame Strike, I mean, would be on. Yeah, there's a Flame Strike. He's got 2 of them, so. Let's see. He's going to kill Sylvanas if he does that.
Alright, well, first calculate and see what you got. You're still in a really dominant position, and I feel like you shouldn't show Ragnaros unless you have to. I mean, Ragnaros is not even known to be in his deck, versus the next couple games. Now that SjoW might have information that the Ragnaros is in the deck, he might be like, well, I play around it.
Okay, well, let's see. He's got some interesting options here. He could even do some crazy Doomsayer play here. Karen played second, right? So it wouldn't be stolen.
Doomsayer is kind of weak because there's Death Rattle effects.
There are just 1-2s though, and then you'd still have the Flame Strike behind it if you
Time runs
ever
out
wanted to. But so he looks like he's
But
just gonna try to pump through this.
Couldn't really protect it that well. I see what you mean though. You can't protect the Doomsayer. Like the Doomsayer would effectively just be gain 7 health.
All right. So
Oh, Hype loses to Drake. Oh,
yeah,
well.
pretty good chance of that.
Oh wait. Oh no, he gets more Sylvanas. Right? Because the Sylvanas
Yeah.
is the first mid you played.
Yep.
Wow.
But can he get him down? I mean, it's the.
Isn't this a situation?
He still has
that
the
we
play. He still has the Shadow or Death play. Oh, he got 2 of them now.
Wow.
Wow. Protects
What is
him
going
against.
on?
Yeah. He's gonna have to heal at some point. Just I would say. I would think.
I think he'll now. But now that Hype's mage deck is kind of on record for not having Fireball, SjoW might feel comfortable just to play something like his Dark Cultist and toss caution into the wind.
Do you think he's fully aware of that right now?
Oh yeah, I think most people recognize Hype doesn't really use Fireballs now, so he's willing to use his heal something else, or Dark Cultist.
Still not healing himself. Yeah, just not afraid of that direct damage. He knows already one Frostbolt's already been played too, right? So
Oh, you're right. You're right. On turn 2 against the Cleric.
yeah. So it's pretty safe against direct damage outside of Rag, but like you said, doesn't know that Rag's in the deck quite yet, or hasn't seen it yet. So
Do you want a Rag ping? Go for it. It could go so badly, considering that your opponent has
ping.
Sylvanas.
Rag ping would be just like almost
That's
like
way
an all
too
in at this
YOLO.
point. Yeah,
That's
it's
so
already an
YOLO.
all-in. But right now,
Duplicate
anything you put
for
down,
Rag, like double secret, and then.
yeah, but you're just gonna lose Rag. You're gonna lose Rag to him. He's gonna actually steal your Rag.
Yeah, but then every other 2 turns after that, you get another chance to Rag. Why not? Nah, there's a lot of reasons why not to. His alternative is actually pretty weak. To everything like this Doomsayer is just gain life.
Doom
wanna
Rag.
duplicate your
Wow,
Doomsayers.
what a play that would be.
do.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that's an interesting play.
Trying to
Is
see if
there-
Doomsayer can
It's-
stall.
I don't think he has an answer to that.
Well, if he can draw Defender of Argus.
Yeah, Defender
Also,
Argus
in a
is
very
great.
weird way, you can Shadow Madness, and then I don't think it actually pops when you give it back.
Oh, so it would give you. No,
It gives you like time to find an answer, if that makes sense.
no, but Shadow Madness gives it back to them at the end of the turn, right? So
Actually, yeah, maybe.
yeah,
I
then
don't know,
then it would blow up. It would
wonder
blow up on
if
the
that's the
beginning.
case.
I think the text is
you
the
could be
beginning of
right.
his turn. Yeah. If it was like Cabal, maybe there's some
Look,
kind
it
of different.
makes sense
Yeah.
when you say it, Jam Man, but that's not always the case in this game.
Yeah. You would never play Cabal on that guy though. Actually, when I just taking him, I'm just kind of curious what would happen to Cabal. Does it actually wait until the beginning of your turn?
What's so smart too is because Doomsayer dies at the beginning of your turn, this doesn't get duplicated. So Hype's not going to get 2 copies of Doomsayer when it activates. Oh, another alternative, by the way,
Yeah,
is to
I like
steal
that.
Doomsayer. If you want to stall for time that badly.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's like, but who would do that and just sacrifice the ball on their turn, basically? Okay, so he's gonna opt for just at least having something on the board. Okay, that's a good decision.
All right. I think you're willing to take a 50-50 here. And you have
Yeah.
Ragnaros and Ping. Sounds good to me, Hype. This is a really clever play setup. And the moment of truth to see if he wins this game, Chan Man.
Oh, this is a huge moment right now.
This is a really cool 2 sequence of plays.
Oh, he missed. He missed.
Wait, wait.
And now SjoW's gonna
SjoW
take it back.
He takes it back. But then Hype
And
gets 2 more Ragnaros.
Oh, he doesn't.
And he's actually okay with either outcome.
No. He doesn't take. He doesn't get 2 Ragnaros, does he?
Yeah, duplicate.
He's stealing it. He's stealing it with
Oh,
Sylvanas.
you're stealing it, though. You're
Yeah,
right.
you're not killing it. You're just stealing it. So
Oh.
That's why
Gosh,
it's gonna be like, oh
very,
man.
very important to note.
Yeah, this is huge. This is so huge for show. Hype still has a polymorph in his deck, so he could at least have an answer in that regard. But we're gonna see some. Oh, he's gonna
Nope,
kill it.
he has 2 Ragnaroses. According to the
What?
game plan.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Oh no! Shit.
Oh. Yeah, that. Oh,
Okay.
he could have just stolen it.
Not too quickly.
I mean, he's got a lot of minions too. That maybe he could have just wanted to flood the board afterwards, but he could have just outright stolen that card.
Well, now you just play like Zombie Chow and Dark Cultist.
Stand ready.
Now he
then-
has 2 rags. That's the life having 3 rags, man. The life.
He's got an answer to all of them too.
Yeah, he does. But
How did this happen? This has gotten so weird.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not even
Alright,
sure
well-
Rag's the best play here, actually. He's got 2 water elementals too. That's pretty nice. Oh, he's going for
You
it.
know
though.
what? I think SjoW was really thrown off by the Doomsayer. He probably didn't realize that Doomsayer doesn't actually give you
Okay, so-
extra copies
you
of Doomsayer. So I think he thought that it was Ice Block.
Wait.
So
Yeah, that's
he's
that
like,
could be
well,
true.
this has to be Ice Block. Like, that's the only explanation of it. Okay,
Yeah.
now he's
And
gonna
what's
take
fun-
it. But now it's like, is it too late to the point his opponent might have another
I
option
have
here?
no time for games.
Well,
Oh.
what's it? He still doesn't do it. So that's kind of interesting. He still doesn't steal it.
Well, there's another Ragnaros, so he knows if he plays it,
Yeah.
it's gonna be taken. So
Well, it could be. It could be, right? So it would be still some kind of chance of rag hitting or not. But yeah.
well, if he plays Ragnaros and it misses, then you just run
Yeah.
Sylvanas in and take it. So
Wow, what a the crazy sequence of events there, man.
all right.
Okay.
Now you have
so
to fight a
now-
little more honestly if you're hyped. So playing like Frost Nova and setting up a turn with minions is pretty decent.
Yeah, I like that.
Whether it's like Water Elemental or something else.
Get the Mad Scientist down too. I like that turn.
What to
Developing
Yeah.
a little bit. You do give your, I mean, you do give your opponent the time to develop. He hasn't played a Cabal yet, so the Mad Scientist might not get any value. And you don't have a board clear yet, so maybe holding on to Nova would be better this turn. Just play
Yeah, it
your
could
2.
be. But the most important thing is you want to set up minions to fight. You get through this last Sylvanas, and you realize your opponent probably doesn't have much going on.
Yeah, actually, Karen's actually a really good choice too.
How
Nothing's-
can you, is there even possible way for you to set up a Ragnaros finish if this goes horribly wrong? I
True.
don't know. Like I think Hype's really calculating if
Hype-
there's a way
yeah.
like Sylvanas dies and then he can use Ragnaros to kill again.
Yeah, he knows both deaths are gone. That's a good point, actually. And now that Karen's on on the board second, then Bane's actually safe from Sylvanas. That's definitely a huge factor here.
I think you take the 2/2. Take
Yeah,
the
guarantees
2/2.
some kind of
heal
value,
up.
right?
Yeah. You can heal up as well.
Well, you know what? Well, you know what you could do also. You could actually just steal the Karen
Consider.
with the Soul Priest. Damaging.
Oh,
the
you're
Sylvanas.
right. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's so clever. You should do that.
But I think he's gonna actually just take the Scientist.
Oh, you are totally right, Chan, man. You should use the Soul Priest, hero power to the Sylvanas and trade into the win.
Let me change.
Yeah.
Why? That seems so much better. Oh man.
Let none survive.
Yeah, good eye, dude. But I guess SjoW doesn't see that. It could be just stress right now. I feel like
Yeah, I mean, there's
also
been a
it
lot
could
of
be
different-
the fact that if you do that, you can't heal because Akanai Soul Priest is now on the board.
Mm-hmm.
So he might feel like with Ragnaros and hero power looming in, he needs to actually float up in health a little bit.
He still knows about the rag too, but at this point, your Sylvanas is definitely in jeopardy.
Wow.
And
What a
Poly.
top deck from Hype to get Polymorph to answer Sylvanas, the last remaining threat that can really put a wrench into his plans. And now he's going to use Frost Nova and the Ice Block here to try and stall for time. This is a very important moment for Hype as Now, how does SjoW deal with this Cairn?
You know, wow. You know what's kind of interesting too is the zombie Chow's looming with Akonai Soul Priest too. Wonder if there's any just like mini burst. I mean, he does have the ice block now, so he's pretty. Actually, Hype's pretty safe here. Is he thinking about ragging? I mean, he could ping. No, he doesn't have any mana. He has no more mana. Yeah, so he's just thinking about
The
just removing.
thing is, Cairn's not going anywhere. Most likely, your opponent can't deal with it. So
Yeah.
you have an opportunity to most likely use the hero power a couple times and figure out a way to trade. And Priest is almost out of cards. I didn't even realize SjoW was ahead that much in the draws, because there's been like Arcane Intellects played from Hyped, and Hyped still has yet to hit his Molten Giants. So I don't know how SjoW actually went to this.
Are these Molten Giants? Oh my, that would be crazy. Oh my god, he gets 2 of them! Oh
Double
my
Molten
gosh.
Giants.
Wow. This is crazy.
Then Hyped has Frost Nova.
He
And
does
a
have
second
Frost
ice
Nova,
block.
but
Like, he's gonna start taking fatigue
Yes.
damage, so he's got ways to delay this game.
I must consider.
yeah, but at least he has an answer to Rag now if that becomes a factor. He can remove the Cairn and the Bane right now. With the
Yeah,
Frost
but say Cairn attacks the face and then just like Frost Nova, and then next turn you get damaged again, and then like you ice block, so you can't take any you can't die. Oh,
Oh, but how about that? Well, that still doesn't prevent.
fine, you're still gonna Frost Nova.
I would have. Okay.
And then
Could've con-
Hyped also has 3 Molten Giants too, so if he draws Molten Giant,
Yeah, that's why
oh,
I was wondering if he should just remove Cairn and Bane, which he could have done with Holy Nova there.
No, this threatens. I think it's much more threatening to put this out here, so that way you have a way to end. Oh my goodness, Hyped
What to do?
hovering over
Oh.
Ragnaros, and he's willing to take the 1 in 6 chance to end this game. Finally, this has been going on for such a long
he's
time.
not gonna.
It's fatigue.
Yeah, I mean he can't. I mean Nova basically does nothing here. Wait, he takes 1 fatigue. No, he doesn't fatigue quite yet. Okay, so he goes down to 7. This is at 1 in 7 chance here, or 1 in 6 chance here. Does he hit it? Okay,
Nope.
gets low depth.
This is Lotheb. SjoW's gonna have to use his giant to answer and pop, which is fine. What's his last card? It's a zombie Chow. Well,
Okay,
that's gonna
let's
be
see if
sitting
you-
there because he doesn't need any more damage, honestly.
Okay, does he want to use? Okay, does he want to use Zombie Chow to just damage right now? All right, he's gonna remove Rag. That's the first thing you gotta do. I mean, there's no doubt, right?
Yeah. What's clever about Hype's play too is that he should have Flame Strike to clear the board, no matter what.
Well, what's okay? So if he does it, so if
Like-
he removes Rag,
Hype's-
he plays Akonai, crashes it into Cairn. So he can't. He might have to kill. What if he kills Zombie Chow here? Does 5 damage. Akonai can hero power hit.
How do you kill Zombie Chow? You get Holy Nova?
You can crash it into Rag right there.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Zombie Chow in his hand. I forgot. There's a 2/6
no.
minion. I was like, that's not Zombie Chow. You're
Oh, yeah,
right.
he's got 2 of them too. Oh man, he could have done some cool stuff with that. He could have Nova. Oh no, he couldn't Nova and kill the other Zombie Chow too. But he's gonna
No.
pop it regardless. But now he doesn't have enough.
He's on fatigue damage.
Yeah.
So, Hyped needs to kill this Flame Strike, but then he plays a second Zombie Chow, which allows him to
Oh.
gain even more health.
Yeah.
Ah,
I
you
think there
Frost
might
Nova, though. You Frost Nova for sure. You have double Frost Nova. Your opponent is actually completely helpless, unless he can he Shadow Madness. Oh, he can Shadow Madness and pop.
Yeah, he
He
can
does
shut it. He
pop.
can. He can do that. That's true. But is he just gonna die? I mean, he can't. Yeah, he could
Okay.
do that, but the damage on the board is just gonna kill him.
That's true.
Mhm.
Is this checkmate, Chan Man?
I think it's checkmate.
No, no.
Is it?
What you do is Holy Nova, and then. Oh, this is what you do. You Holy Nova, and then Shadow Madness, the Water Elemental, and attack into Bane. And then you're alive. Barely.
And then there's 3 and 6. So he's only taken 1 fatigue. Is that it? Just 1 fatigue?
Oh yeah, but you're gonna be taking you can't
You're not gonna
heal
pop.
and do
You're not
that at
gonna pop the
same time.
bubble. You're not gonna pop the bubble. So you're not gonna pop the ice block. So you're still potentially dead, right? That's why it was important
That's
to
the
get him
only way
down
to
to
survive.
2.
This is the
It
only
was-
way that I see you surviving. You have Holy Nova, Shadow Mass, and into the Bane, and then like you actually kill off Water Elemental this way.
And then you would take 2 the next turn.
No, you have to do it in this specific order.
Yeah, it's. Well, Bane.
All right. Well, I think SjoW realizes there's no way to win otherwise,
Yeah.
so he's just gonna Holy Nova now. And it seems like no matter what, he's gonna die because of fatigue. And Hype's been able to outlast this crazy game, but he's also got Flame Strike, so that would have helped him gain a lot of health and kill off this giant. So Hype was in a really good position, and he also gets Alex Straza. So if there was any more insurance that he needed, he would have been okay.
Yeah. Well, that was a crazy game, definitely at the end there. Some interesting scenarios, which might be great to take a look at the VOD again, just to see what all these different, different 5 between Hyped and SjoW. This is a best of 7. Winner moves on to the semifinals.
You asked
Here we
for
go,
it.
man. The games have been exciting, man. Looking forward to this one.
Yet to the normal freeze mage, the druid deck is actually a problem because, like you said, Keeper of the Grove against Doomsayer is like an easy way to eliminate the possibility of losing your board, and then like Ancient of Lore heals you out of Fireball Pyroblast range after Alex Straza is used on you. So there's lots of ways to fight the traditional freeze mage. But this one's so different because it uses its minions so effectively, and it hinges upon duplicating, getting a lot of mileage out of it. Hype's thinking about even keeping Duplicate in his opening hand because he has Sludge Belcher already, and that's just what you want against Druid. Those 2 cards are your money cards to survive.
Absolutely. Okay, Shades. Innervate Shades. Going to be an interesting start. Holding on to Sludge Belcher.
All right, well, Hype also throws away in Duplicate and gets it, so kind of a
That's
unfortunate
pretty good.
situation. SjoW's in a great start though. You get the Shade, Innervate Shade on turn 1. It's pretty much as good as it gets.
Yeah. It's got the Creeper and potential, flexibility with the Savage too. It's gonna be interesting. But Hyped, probably gonna have to wait for the Twilight Drake, but that Duplicate could potentially land on some really good targets here. Belcher would be nice. I think he'd probably like to have extra couple Belchers in his deck against this type of aggro druid.
Yeah, I think so. He can.
There we go.
Twilight Drake is more resilient to Keeper of the Grove because of it, but this Innervate Shade starts to get scary very quickly.
Yeah, it's almost like a psychological thing with the shades. So when your opponent has the shades too, because you don't know when he's gonna actually play it. You don't know when he's gonna actually come out and use the just start attacking with it. So playing around it can be just so inefficient, right? And if you completely ignore it, you can't completely ignore it either, right? So it's so strong. That's why I really love how Blizzard, or really love the design of that card. Okay, here we go. So gonna get an extra Twilight Drake and extra couple of Twilight Drakes. Now that there's more Twilight Drakes than Keepers, this could be good. But you mentioned this deck not having very many taunts, and would have been nice to get this the Belcher, or get a couple more copies of the Belcher.
It would have been nice, but I think you can just live with the consequence. Honestly, you tossed out the Drake knowing it could die just to trades, so it was perfectly understanding of what was going on.
Yeah.
Now
yeah.
you, as the druid player, you can start eliminating stuff. You have to kind of get out the board with death rattles as soon as you can, so that way you can play ahead of the flame strike curve. But I think Hyped is just like he's just gonna have to use Frost Nova, otherwise he dies next turn to just Savage Roar.
This is this is insane. This isn't quite that turn 4 turn 4 Savage Roar win that one of those highlights. I think one of those highlights that Trolled and made was, but it's just pretty close. Crazy aggression right from the get-go. And it's got the Savage Roar in hand too. He's got actually the combo in hand as well as Swipe and Wrath. So SjoW is just sitting in great position right now.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and
Oh man.
what?
Oh, I was gonna say wasn't sure if he was gonna play Nova or not.
Well, Mad Scientist, you play Nova with it. 'Cause
Yeah, I
that's
could still
you
do
fill
it.
out the rest of the curve with it. Next turn, you Flame Strike, and then I guess you just live with the consequences with whatever secret you get from the Mad Scientist, whether it's duplicate number 2 or Ice Block. And if it is Ice Block, that gives you the chance to play Molten Giant.
Yeah.
Wow.
7-4.
Meanwhile, this Shade is still getting stronger on SjoW's
7-4.
side.
Oh man.
Ah. I
5
like it.
turns.
Playing Spectral Knight's pretty decent.
Yeah, just why not? Just keep continuing. Just keep building the board here. He will lose it to a Flame Strike if chooses to crash the Scientist into it.
Yeah, but your opponent has to choose still. Do you leave a Spectral Knight or do you leave a Shades of Naxxramas that's going to be... Oh no, it's going to be only 7-4.
No,
I thought it was
the
gonna
Shades
be 5.
dies. Yeah.
Yep, I miscounted. I guess
And with
you
the
have
Karen,
to leave a
you know,
Blight.
you were gonna leave 4 damage from the Karen regardless. So this is actually really good for Hyped. Just getting an extra minion.
Oh, it is going to be Ice Block, by the way, so that's a really important moment for Hyped.
Yeah.
Now, SjoW lost most of his board, but he still has damage potential. Second Keeper. Now, is SjoW going to play around Molten Giants and just not attack this turn?
Yeah, that's something he has to consider. It's true. There is no taunt though. There's no Sun Furies, right, or Argus in his deck. Not quite the wall that you would have to deal with afterwards, but you will have to respect the damage from those minions. I think he can hit once. I mean, it's 8 mana next turn. I feel like he can hit once.
I think you have combo, so
Yeah,
you
I
can
think he can.
hero power, but I mean, you're still so firmly in a nice position that you just don't want to evoke the wrath
I
of.
must safeguard.
Wow. All right.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
the second
this-
Keeper of the Grove comes out, and Twilight Drakes now are gonna be pretty strong. He's got both ice blocks too, so Molten Giants and 2 Drakes here. Or
Wow.
2 Drakes first, and oh my
Molten
gosh,
Giant double Drake. That's pretty nasty.
that's a giant handlock.
He's got
Handmade,
second
whatever.
ice block
Dream.
in hand as well.
Yeah, you just want to throw up as much damage as possible on the board right now.
What to do?
You could
He might have-
Sylvanas and Molten. You could do that too.
He might have to Water Elemental to keep the hero power frozen too, because as much as you have minions up, you need a way to stop your opponent from guaranteeing to kill you.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting thing to look at too. Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to get you down to 2. I think the very least he'll get you down to 2 when he pops, or he'll want to at least.
I wonder.
You could just keep him at 4 because
I
he does
have
have
no
swipe.
time for games.
Time runs out on you.
I think you use Savage Roar over Force of Nature though, because you don't want
Oh,
your
that's
opponent. You want to have damage from the hand. Like if you get frozen to your face, like I don't like using Force of Nature unless he wants to use it to clear. If he uses it to clear and then pop it, that's fine too. And in fact, I like his. It's great. But Savage Roar is better used over Force of Nature because if you're frozen on the face, you can't get the damage, and you have no board, then it's useless.
Whoa. Okay, so this is yeah. I mean, that's definitely a good point. Just being able to guarantee, especially with a double, he's got 8 from his hand right now too. So as well as the Force of Nature, but swipe for sure. It doesn't matter what's on the board. He's going to be able to get. So he takes him down to 3. Uses one of the swipes. Okay.
Pipe draws Alex Straza. That'll be so huge in the next couple turns. He has 2 more draws to do it.
That would be it's crazy good. Okay, so ice block, of course. But then, do you draw? Do you draw with Arcane Intellect?
I think you want to just play threats to potentially kill your opponent next turn.
What to do?
You can only play 1 though.
No, I mean, he might draw a second Molten Giant with Arcane Intellect, so it might be 3 mana Giant.
Oh, okay, so you're saying he should draw. Yeah.
I'm not saying he should. How much damage is SjoW at, or life at? He's at 32. Next turn he begin at 30. He can be gaining 1, and you do 13. So he can be at 20 life. How do you do 20 damage? You just have to load up and hopefully draw into something here.
Yeah,
So
he's
Water
got to
Elemental, Ice Block.
I think even a taunt. I think something that's going to impede your opponent from even just like Force of Naturing.
You can't get
Let
You
none
can't get a
survive.
Taunter in Arcane Intellect and then survive. You actually need to play Ice Block so that way Swipe doesn't become lethal.
Let none survive.
Time runs out on you.
Alright,
Yeah.
well,
That's true. I don't know if there's a way for him to even gotten around this actually.
okay, well, now SjoW has to use Force of Nature.
Yeah.
Or Savage Roar. Just not his Swipe.
I mean, he can actually just
Actually, both.
he
Right,
could Force of
combo,
Nature,
wait.
Savage Roar, remove like the giant and pop the bubble. Like he could.
That's not too bad, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, the mage has no heal. Unless he
as
draws the
Alexstrasza.
Alexstrasza. Yeah, the Alexstrasza is
Right,
the only
That's
thing.
actually a huge heal. If you can
Yeah,
draw
but
it.
at this point, I don't. I think you just have to play for the win next turn, or because if it goes any longer, you're just gonna give him that many more chances to draw it, right?
Yeah, and if you play Force of Nature, Savage Roar the following turn, and he has a Sludge Belcher in the way, you actually will... Actually, no, you can still get through it. No, you can get through it. That's assuming you have enough life to get through it, though.
So if you would have tried to draw for Alex last turn,
Well, he wouldn't have the Water
Alex is-
Elemental there.
he wouldn't have the water elemental there. But if he had Alex, he would at least
Time waits for no one.
be positioned to
No,
survive next.
I realized Water Elemental also freezes SjoW's hero power, so he can't utilize, like, part of the Force of Nature combo.
Okay.
Also, he should have attacked. If he's gonna do this, okay, never mind. I thought he was gonna attack with zero power. Okay. Back over to Hyped. He really needs to draw Alexstrasza or a Taunter. Either one of those two. No, that's not it.
Nope, that's not it, and that's. Well, he can still get a
Arcane
Belcher
Intellect?
here.
No.
Oh. Wasn't gonna matter there. I think he does have one Belcher left, but he's not gonna have enough mana for it now. Anything else in his
Crossbow to
deck?
the face? No, I think there's no way for him to survive
No,
anymore
it's just
because
that he has to have a taunt. That's the only thing he can have at this point.
wow,
another Twilight
more
Drake.
Twilight Drake.
Oh, it's nice, yeah. Okay, well, it looks like SjoW's gonna go up 3-2. Hype's not drawing into the cards that he needed the last 4 draws, really. But another tight game there. Doesn't look like it's tight, but it actually is. It's a pretty close game.
All right, well, he's drawn another
double.
Force of Nature just for good measure. And SjoW's just going to end this one mercifully. No BM at all. I think it's just out of fatigue and a little bit of just trying to end this series because the series has been going for quite some time, Cham, and we're only gonna be halfway through our quarterfinals after this. So
I know.
these guys have
Exactly.
a time. It's getting kind of late already in Europe.
That's true, definitely. It's 9:30 over there. But show 3-2. He's potentially got one more game here to finish off Hyped. Hyped obviously gonna try to do his best to stop that. And we're gonna go into straight into game number 6 here. Warrior versus Druid.
Versus Garrosh.
All right, let's go.
Victory.
All right, Warrior's gonna match up pretty well.
I must protect the wild.
Well, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's great, but
Yeah, I would actually go the opposite way.
Yeah.
I would say Warrior is pretty poor in this matchup.
you think it's really bad?
I had to
thought-
pick
thought
a
it's
line.
just slightly underdog, but okay.
Yeah, I feel like this is actually one of Druid's best matchups.
All right.
If I have to pick a side of like who's favored, because you have so much aggression and you can hide really effectively. Like the way you cut down with aggression early game is Fari Warax with the Warrior, but in this deck, almost every single card doesn't give Fari Warax value. Like Echoing Ooze, there's 2 targets. You're trading evenly. Harvest Golem only goes 1 for 1. Shaded Knife Ramps, you can't even attack it. So it's like there's a lot of ways for Druid to put on like effective ways to stick to the board, and then you're kind of powerless to stop it.
Armor made to fit.
Okay, yeah. So the ooze, starting out with the ooze, doesn't have the savage in hand at least this time, but he's definitely going to be able to pressure quite a bit. Got the 2 rats too to really help support it, stabilize the minions on the board. But Hype does have Taskmaster though, so he can actually put this Armorsmith to work here. Another Armorsmith too.
All right, well that's one way you can start putting it in your favor if you start fighting back and like he cool Taskmasters this, so you can fight for the board. Kind of surprised that he wants to go for this and not thinking about Deathbite either. Deathbite's still really effective because then you have second Armorsmith and it comes out.
Yeah, it's a pretty big investment just to throw out both of them this early. But that board's kind of scary, right? Given what the druid, what type of druid this is.
Made to fit.
I mean, Argus is going to be quite good.
Ooh, he almost
nothing.
gave the buff to the
Strike.
to the little ooze here.
He's trying to
That
freak
was
us out,
almost a
man.
mistake. Yeah, this is a very good start. So like one way, of course, Warrior can win, and its primary objective is to just gain a lot of health and be effective with its smaller minions. And like if Armorsmith ends up going 2 for 1 in combination with all these other cards, and SjoW can't really pick up a great amount of value and establishing the board, then Warrior will pull ahead, and then it won't matter what Druid does, because then he's going to be top decking cards and hoping for Ancient of Lore. And
Yeah.
then it's going to be really difficult to come back. But he's got Defender of Argus here, which is super powerful.
Yeah, this is going to be really good. It's going to clear out 2 minions, keep his minions on the board, and really not allow for a very good death bite, at least the first swing of it. From Hyped here. Ghoul.
Oh my.
Okay. Ghoul's pretty good, actually. As much as you want to get
Yeah.
that death bite in position here, that Ghoul is set up nicely.
If it gets Keeper of the Grove, you're in trouble. But if it doesn't, it's excellent, like you said.
Yeah. That Keeper of the Grove is looming, though, and he can't keep her and hero power, though. So at least he can't just... Well, it'll still be bad. I mean, he's still going to lose those 2 guys regardless. Well, I guess if he keep her to in hero, if he silence in hero power, he wouldn't lose any minions, so that'd be terrible. But he looks like he's going to opt for it. Gets a little bit more out of his Armorsmith, and just a little bit more armor. But if a Spectral came out or something like that, that would be pretty that'd be pretty painful.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there,
Yeah,
though.
but he doesn't
Hypes
have it.
Is,
Yeah.
Like, you deal with these threats as soon as you can. He's really hoping that this doesn't get silenced. Oh, but that gamble. Well, like, you don't lose health on your armor smith if you don't have to. But SjoW is in a position where he can go about this two ways, actually.
Yeah, he could actually Argus too. I mean, he
Yeah.
could. He has a lot. He has lots of options here.
He could save. He can Argus and save his keeper, attack in, and then kill off the armor smith. But that also is a little. You still like play into killing off the ooze. Like the whole point is to actually save the ooze here, so you don't lose it.
Or you save the Harvest Golem here, which looks like he's trying to save.
Right. The alternative is, of course, silencing the unstable ghoul, and then attacking into the armor smith with the other two attack creatures, and then you're good to go. But it seems like he's just going to go for this and give up the ooze. That's kind of okay with Hype Spot too, because now both defenders have been used, so it's not like Spectre Knight can get taunted up and give Warrior a hard time removing. So
Yeah.
not the worst position possible for Hyped.
All right, so Hype's going to get a little bit better of a swing here. You know, gets a 3-2 versus anything with 1 health there. So it works out decent. He could have got a good amount of armor actually from both armor smith. I think in total 7 or 8 armor, so not too bad given that he's played it so early. And
Wow, that is
SjoW,
a bad draw for Hype for sure.
yeah, it's not a very good turn for SjoW here. He'd much rather it'd be 7, turn 7 here. So empty turn for SjoW really gives Hype a chance to get on this board. Even Karen being silenced here is not too bad. I mean, just get it.
You are
Just having it
not
on
this
board.
desperate to use Keeper of the Grove on the face.
Oh man, if he uses Keeper of the Grove on the face, the Karen's gonna be crazy good for Hype.
Well, Karen is still really good.
It's gonna
For
clear
sure.
the board here. Yeah, gonna clear the board, get Karen down, and game's starting to turn around for Hype now.
Yeah, kind of surprised that
Shades.
Hyped immediately tacked it off, but he realizes Keeper of the Grove could be a way to remove it, so
Yeah.
rather than letting his Karen potentially die, he's just going to use his last movement of Death Spite. It's just kind of painful because you wish you can get synergy with with Acolyte of Pain. Now, Ancient of Lore comes down, Hyped can faceless his Karen and then just get like a super strong board and won't ever let it go until and then force SjoW to effectively try to race past his minions in order to kill him.
Yeah. Faceless Karen, that's so good. He's gonna play a Shades here. Wow. Okay, just go ahead and silence now. Yeah, so Casey, I guess he does have a faceless. He can't get both Karen and Bane here, so ruins that play for Hype to a degree. I don't think he'll faceless it now. But he does get a ghoul and an acolyte. Nice.
It's not bad. The combination allows you to draw a card and armor up. Pretty decent, honestly. The alternative
still
is also to play Harrison, because you're not going to get value off of it anyways. And Harrison can challenge an Ancient of Lore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, both good plays. One just a little bit more active on the controlling board there.
What now?
I
looks like he-
think I
looks like he
like
needs some
Unstable
cards.
better because your hand is still slightly weak. You want Shield Block to draw, like to combine with Shield Slam, and Acolyte gives you the opportunity to start drawing into it. Plus, it's a good time to play it. Versus in the future, you might not be able to get value off Acolyte, and you might be in trouble. So I think this is better play. It's a quiet time, so use this quiet time to get noisy.
Quiet time to get noisy. Yeah, awesome. Wrath can limit at least the Acolyte draw here. Ruin that play to a degree. But then, then your turn's going to
Ruin
be
your own
not,
play too.
Yeah, it's not nearly as strong as an Ancient of Lore play, but
You know, you double
Could
wrath.
just,
and...
he could just clear the board too. Yeah. Clear the board and just keep your Nax. You could do that too.
Alright, so he's going to Wrath for 1 and try and draw. He doesn't care about Warrior drawing. And this obviously is always a setback, but it makes sense because the Druid player doesn't care about the 1 extra card, they care about the board presence.
Okay,
And
that's what we're seeing.
Hyped drew a Shield Slam, which is really important so he can deal with stuff. Ooh, Fiery War Axe is nice
Fire
as
Axe,
well.
War Axe. Gonna definitely help to maintain this board, or at least clean up this board to a degree.
Oh my, it's starting to get really hot
Oh.
in here as Hype has a lot of great minions coming up soon. Like this, Ysera can't get dealt with, so you faceless it, and then you just have so many ways to answer Druids.
It's getting hot in here. Here we go. All right, gonna use the
Yeah, Shield Slam.
Shield Slam.
Oh,
He's
okay.
gonna swing with 3.
You got Shield Block, so don't care.
Okay, just waiting for a
You-
bigger target. Yeah.
Right, what's the one way Druid can pull back into this game? That's always what you think. And it's, of course, the card that's about to be played. Because Warrior, it was ahead. Now it's much more subjective based off the draws. Oh man, Innervate and Swipe.
Oh man.
What?
All right. Well, it's a good thing you say that's Shield Slam for sure now, so he can actually get back, has to get back on the board, or hopefully, remove most of the minions on the board, and hopefully get back on the board. Not too good. Not too good with the Shield Slam. So probably
He's
gonna.
got something, so maybe he can draw another good card. All right. Do you want to faceless this Ancient of Lore beforehand? If he knew the Hand of Show, he would obviously hold it because you faceless Cairn and not this 5/5.
I think
but-
you do though. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think-
he's going for
Yeah,
it.
it's either that or you fall even further behind on the board, and
Well,
you do
I mean,
have
it's the same
Ysera.
play.
you do have Ysera.
That's true. I don't think you care too much about it. You can actually fully remove this Cairn too.
Yeah, I mean you pretty much deal with it before it even gets anywhere. Or do you just throw it on Ysera? Oh, you have Ysera and you have well, Shield Slam doesn't quite.
Oh man,
it.
Sylvanas. Yeah, so you armor up, Shield Slam Sylvanas, and kill the Cairn. And then you have Ysera the following turn. And you've taken out one of the strongest, stickiest minions that Druid has in their arsenal. Not to mention, Sylvanas is always a threat to steal whatever's there. Oh, wait, you can also potentially steal something. You can 50-50 to steal their minion with a Shield Slam.
Doesn't
What do you wanna
feel
go
as good as. I think you just go for the straight removal. I think that's probably going to be more efficient with your cards, really. Is he worried about the? Let's say the combo. So if Nax,
I
if
think
the
that-
Shades gets to 3, 4, 8, and then normally it's the 14, 22. Okay, so he won't die even if you leave those 2 minions on the board to the combo potentially. I wonder if he's worried about that at all.
He definitely is. So, what's it going to be, Hyped? Are you going to
Yeah.
use Shield Slam to remove, or are you going to use it to steal?
I have no time for
Okay, it is the
Yep, I
removal.
think that's
yeah,
good
I
choice.
think you're right. Like, in this scenario, like, stealing can often be the play in the control matchup to
Mm-hmm.
win the game, but it's too much of a coin flip at the moment.
Yeah, and both targets are. I mean, the 5/5 can be nice, but it's not as something that's more of a no-brainer like a Ragnaros or a bit like that, because you are giving up your 5/5 body, right, in the form of, or just in Sylvanas. So if you kill your own Sylvanas, you're using the removal and the 5/5 body. You better get something great and impactful in return. And I don't think it would have been a guarantee as to what you got, much less getting a the best case, I don't even think would have been necessarily as impactful. So this is gonna be tough for SjoW actually. I mean, he can remove that 5/5, but then the Sylvanas is looming. He can silence it.
Well, you can go for a full clear. You just silence it, and then you Force of Nature, which seems to be his best course of action, honestly. Even though
Yeah.
Warrior's still at a reasonable health, I think this is what you gotta do.
And I think that I believe that leaves him really close to a Savage draw for lethal.
You
That
think so, but sometimes it just feels so far. You get Haunted Creeper, you get Innervate, you get Harvest Golem. It's like, ugh. And then meanwhile, your opponent has Ysera, and then it hits
Here it
into
comes.
Gromosh, into Alex Straza. If he gets or Ysera Awakens, it'll be crazy. Although Emerald
Okay,
Drake is
Drake.
probably another good option as well.
Creeper. Wow. Okay. Just really solidifying that potential Savage draw if he can get it.
Yeah, but I have a strong feeling SjoW's gonna get like Innervate or Harvest Golem next too. Like that's just what this deck does. It's just so you
It
think
just
it's
tortures
like
you. Tortures
yeah, you
you.
think there's a chance to draw to top deck well, but it really doesn't happen that often.
All right. Well,
he did.
he could dump here, like Emerald, Acolyte. I mean, Acolyte task to draw first, and
What
pretty good.
now?
He doesn't like that card. I'm just
Yeah,
He's
he's
just rubbing
trying to
off.
calculate again.
Yeah.
Combo right now 14 plus it looks to be like 7, so 21. Still not enough, or 23, excuse me. Still not enough to kill. So he's still sitting at a comfortable life, but it's starting to get harder. Keep things in check. He's still waiting to get Brawl. He doesn't get Ysera Awakened either. Oh my goodness.
Not quite though. He doesn't quite have it. He's got 24. He's too short. Too short. Yeah,
that a
I've
hype
been keeping tabs of this number for a while. It should be 14 plus 10, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
you go
man.
for it? Because what if he draws Sludge Belcher?
That's a
And
good
then
point.
you have to like chew through that entire process, and you lose like 10 damage because of what Sludge Belcher is absorbing.
What to do?
And he's got draws to do it too. You go for it.
Does he
You
have a
hold.
swipe left? Does he have a swipe left?
I don't know. You don't have enough mana to play everything. Now here's another thing. If SjoW holds, all he's gaining is 1 damage.
Yeah, I mean
he gets
this doesn't do anything for him. So that I
he
don't
just
like
does 2
that play.
damage. Warrior armor's up.
I don't like that play at all.
Cool story, bro. That's exactly what's going through Hype's mind. Oh, whoa. No, he has to actually respect the combo now. It might feel tempting, but you actually
I shall bring
Need
No,
to,
you still Alex
like-
him, but
no, you need to make sure that you're out of combo range. That's like the only way you lose. You're so far ahead. There you go. Sludge Belcher's
what a
perfect.
draw. And I think that may be it because he can set up enough damage. He might be able to set up 15 next turn. So I
Yeah,
think this could be it.
use Sludge Belcher, armor up, kill off with Cruel Taskmaster. Just eliminate every single body possible.
What
So that Savage Run Force of Nature is not a viable way to finish. He's so far ahead. Like this, like don't lose unnecessarily.
Well, as long as he armors up, there's just no way. I mean, he armors up or he just kills one of these minions. He's out of range for sure.
He does both.
He's gonna do both.
Yep.
So.
And this goes back to how Hype started off the game. Like he had the double Armor Smith, he had Cruel Taskmaster trading like the entire time.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
SjoW had like a start where he was just like losing his board.
for the wild?
Hey, what did I say that like, the cards you'd be drawing at this point? Like Haunted Creeper and Harvest Golem, those are exact cards that he's picking up here because the deck just doesn't have a lot of strong minions. He still hasn't even seen some of his more powerful ones like Spectral Knight.
Yeah,
Claw.
it would have been dream crushing if that Harvest Golem was a swipe. Oh man, that would have been brutal. But Hype actually ends up tying the series 3-3, and we're going into another Game 7. So yesterday we had some 3-0s. Looks like we're just going to have 7-game series all day here, Frodan. Pretty awesome matches so far. And Hype is going to have to take his last deck, which is a Warrior. So we're going to have a Warrior versus Warrior matchup. We're
Wow.
going to get comfortable here, get some snacks ready, get some popcorn, and this is going to last a while, I think. Is there a
Yes,
Ysera? All right, let's go into game number 7. This deciding game in this quarterfinals match between Hyped and SjoW. This is Deck War Season 2 Finals.
Your death. I
Here
will
we go.
crush you.
All right, Death
All right,
Bite.
so SjoW opens up. He gets a really important card, Death Bite. Hype gets
Harrison.
into Harrison Jones, though, and that's
Nice.
a perfect
They
answer.
both got Harrison. Wow. All right, we're back. All right, so the players are starting off. Both have Harrison Jones. Pretty interesting to see who gets the most value out of that. All right, fireworks. I think we're gonna see a lot of just armoring up in the beginning here. A lot of times, this matchup can be like chicken. Whoever flinches first throws on the first minion.
Yeah, and I think
Kinda
a
fun.
good example was Nimsh versus
Yeah, the
Tice, where
yeah.
it was basically armor up wars and trying to see if you can get any kind of early traction with some minions. So basically, this game starts at turn 5.
Yeah, and that's where we see it with the Belcher. Belcher's really good against the Warrior. Nothing easy to do against it. Best play usually is like a second swing of the Death Bite just to at least remove the 3/5. But Hype doesn't even have that quite yet.
All right, well, he's going to wait for Karen, so that way
Yep.
he can challenge the minion rather than use removal. And it is about how greedy you can be.
Yeah,
But
and-
SjoW's off to a much better start than Hyped is, for sure.
Yeah, he's pressuring and knocking down that armor is a huge factor. Just making those shield slams as inefficient as possible is going to be a big factor. Just whoever can remove like large minions with it is going to be definitely
I have
in
no time for
in the lead here. And instead of Karen, it's going to have to go with Sylvanas, given that there's so many minions already on the board, and it's a good way to counter it. Which one of them is running Spellbreaker again? One of them has silence.
SjoW is.
SjoW is okay. So
SjoW is.
SjoW really needs it right now.
He can also just play as if Sylvanas is just simply going to take one of his smaller minions. It's not like he has a really high value target
It's true.
where he wants to lose. Also, SjoW is playing very smartly around Harrison Jones, not equipping a Fire War Axe for no reason if he's not going to attack. Wow, Brawl is
Got
available
Brawl.
to Hype. Do you want to use it so early? Again, there's not a lot of high value targets here. And the Brawl is sometimes a super removal against a big minion like Alexstrasza. Ooh, does he want to faceless this? Is that
Yeah, it
cashing
doesn't
in
feel
too
good.
early?
Yeah, faceless doesn't feel good here. You make a good point. All those minions aren't that high value. There are bigger targets that you're gonna have to deal with later, and potentially won't have answers for, right? So faceless can be defensive in that way. And I think the question is whether you play just Karen or Belcher here. Karen's still gonna be tough to deal with, and if he ignores it, then you can just copy that. That'll definitely be worth copying. But Belcher keeps the damage. One thing that I was saying, right, is that if one of the players gets off to a quicker start, then that's like one of the few. That's usually the scenario where the game ends before fatigue, because and that's the kind of start the SjoW has is kind of what you're looking for. Get that Gromish combo on turn 8 with the second swing of the death bite. Speaking of which, yeah, can be pretty scary.
Well, I guess you start going away. Chop at this sludge belcher. Meanwhile, you're gaining some armor, so not too awful. And you can even draw a card with your acolyte.
Yeah,
Oh.
get a lot of armor actually, and you can play. Well, he's just gonna armor up. Never mind.
Well, this is really good amount of mileage off of this acolyte for hypes.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, for show. Now
For a
back
show,
over to hype.
show, yeah.
It's kind of an okay moment to play Karen, I believe. But at the same time, you just want to get rid of everything.
I wonder.
Oh, he could play a
You
ghoul
wish you
too.
had like a fiery war axe to chew through stuff.
Nah, ghoul probably isn't great here because it'll probably force the death of the Sylvanas and
Well, Sylvanas
Steal,
looks like
like,
she's
an
going
armor
down
smith?
sometime soon.
yeah. I mean, it's going to be stealing an armor smith potentially. I don't know how great that is. Not a great turn here actually available to hyped.
Oh,
Karen
actually, I wonder
seems
if
best
SjoW
thing.
intended it that way. If SjoW said, I think you're going to steal my armor smith, so I'm going to lower her to 3 health so I can fiery war axe her down. If he did think that, that's really clever. Okay, Harrison Jones also a viable play, for sure.
Belongs in a museum.
Definitely not something that you need to do right now, but still has its plays. Alright,
Yeah,
Acolyte,
just gives you something on the board, you know, something.
Let none survive.
snipe the
Spent-
Acolyte.
Yeah, or to threaten the acolyte. The acolyte already is it's gotten its value. At this point, it's just like it's still going to get great value with the 3 damage here.
Yeah, do you really want Acolyte to just trade into Harrison really easily? Alright. He wants to save the Acolyte for further utility. So Hype is very conservative with his resources. Didn't want to play Shield Slam or his resource unnecessarily. And as a result, it's in a way makes it very effective for his card count. Like, even though Acolyte's drawn 3 cards, shows on like a similar card count to him because he is.
Yeah, and I think maybe Hyped was trying to, you know, at least keep a high percent chance or just a higher percent chance of him stealing something from that Sylvanas, you know, getting that kind of value. But unfortunately, SjoW was able to avoid that. So Sylvanas didn't end up stealing anything, but I think Sylvanas ended up killing 3 minions. Is that right? It might have ended up being still pretty good from a trading standpoint. So finally get a chance to throw down Karen. At least SjoW does. And Hype still against the gun. I mean, he's got 10 cards right at this point. I mean, he has to make a play here.
I don't think he wants
Or he
to
makes-
play Karen himself. Karen
Yeah, I
and
usually
maybe
feel-
Shield Slam it, the first body.
Do you copy his Karen or do you play your own?
Yeah, you can play your own. Because
Yeah.
you don't need to copy that unless you're trying to fit in the mana something else. Like if you want to, like say you want to develop the Death Spite, then you use the Faceless. But I feel like if you want a Karen, just play Karen. No need to Faceless it.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
might as well
same
get it
exact
in.
thing.
You can. Yeah. Faceless does have more of a flexible use, or
You
something
could
bigger,
say
too.
if you want 2 Karens no matter what, you Faceless this first one. And then like, well, I have Karen 2, so I can guaranteed get it.
yeah. Karen is so good against Warrior though. Like this is
Okay. Moves it
Yeah.
pretty straightforward.
yeah. I got multiple ways to remove it next turn.
So then SjoW's gonna Fire War Axe this thing down. Most likely gonna pop it with Harrison Jones as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he draws off of Harrison.
That belongs in a museum.
Okay. He waits to see if maybe he has a way to snipe this cool task without using his second Fire War Axe charge. Ah, kind of unfortunate his Acolyte wasn't able to get in there in time.
Okay, so does he get his death bite ready? Yeah, I think he does actually, because he can have. Oh yeah, he already swung, right? So it's still going to be 2 turns
Right.
from a potential lethal here, unless he draws a way to enable the Gromish. Oh, he does have a shield slam that can. Yeah, give him 23, I think. Yeah, 23.
Yeah, it looks like Hype
Nice
really
win.
needs to make sure that this threat's dealt with. Does he respect the Gromosh at all? Like a cruel Taskmaster Gromosh. Might have to
I think
shield
you
block
have to.
and shield slam.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to. Given it's turn 10, there's a lot of ways to end up with Gromish enraged.
What now?
What can he do? I mean, he can, yeah, just double shield, right? Shield block, double shield slam. He could just kill one of them and throw down Karen. And that's pretty good too.
He's trying to calculate and see what's the thinnest margin he can get away with.
Mhm.
And I think Death's Bite and then shield block, armor up, shield slam is his best. If he plays this and then plays Karen, does he die? I
Not
think
if
he's
you remove
barely
one of them.
alive. Oh, he's actually
wow.
just barely alive.
Oh,
His opponent doesn't
oh,
have Cruel
gosh.
Task. If his opponent has Cruel Taskmaster, he's
Wow.
dead. So he's saying you have to have 10 damage on Gromosh.
Yeah, he's down to 1 though. But even if you take him down to 1, you've got to swing. You're gonna take him down to 1.
Really? You take him down to 1 when he might be
maybe
able
not,
to have
maybe
Alex Straza. And then you wasted
Oh,
all
that's
that
true.
damage.
You're right. You're right. That's actually not a good. Yeah, Lotheb's be a great play actually here. Yeah, Alex
Or shield
Straza.
block first.
Yeah, would be pretty pretty brutal. That's not a good play. Yeah, this is good. This is really good.
All right. Well, now
All right,
Hype
Hype.
can't really play mass removal.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough.
Black
That's a
Knight.
great Lotheb timing there, man. That's amazing Lotheb timing.
He might have to brawl. No, even if he brawls, he's in
Doesn't
trouble.
matter.
I think
Yeah.
with this move, Hyped actually has to play Unstable Ghoul.
He could. Let's see.
He has to remove everything and play Unstable Ghoul.
Yeah.
Wait, he might have to Unstable Ghoul and Faceless it. That is uncomfortable.
If he. Oh, I think you're right. Actually, you need because you need 2 taunts here. Because the acolyte was still alive, right? So that's an extra. It's going to take him down to 10. Oh, well, he can armor up too. So he'll be at 13 as long as you avoid the death bite hit. Well, you're
I mean,
gonna have
you're gonna
to
try to
hit
try to
Lotheb.
remove something though. You have to try to remove something with this.
You have to remove the Lotheb. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you have to have 2 unstable goals to potentially survive.
Like your opponent's playing so aggressive, and the Lotheb timing indicates that he wants to crush for the win. So I think you got to take this extremely seriously. Trade off,
Yep.
faceless it,
Yeah.
and then
That's it.
how does SjoW win from here? He has execute, so I believe you attack.
I think he still
and
has
then
it.
yeah, you
still
play
has it.
Gromosh, attack, and then you execute. Or
You can shield
slam.
slam too. Yeah, you can
Doesn't really
whichever
matter.
one. You got 2 shield slams now. So
Alright.
it looks like SjoW's gonna take the series.
He
4-3
advances
against
to the
Hype.
semis.
Yeah, advances to the semis. Really close match. Really great matches actually from both players. And exciting finish there. SjoW just kept the pressure on the entire time. We got off to the faster start, and unfortunately for Hyped, wasn't able to even out the or just the game at any point. So, all right, congratulations to SjoW, and let's take a look at our brackets right now.